and today I'm on my way to Ashburton. Now, I mainly picked Ashburton because I live close by. I've passed through it quite a few times in my life, but I've never really had a good stop and a look around. Before I decided to do this, I did my research, well, kind of. I asked the internet, yes, that internet, about what is in Ashburton. And despite the internet usually being a place for positivity, I mainly got some negative results, such as the exit sign, tractors. I did get gardens. I was told of some nice gardens and food. That's about it. So I'm going to go and see how accurate that really is. And here we are now, just entering. And here I am at the Ashburton domain, which already exceeds all expectations of what a domain is in my head. It should be maybe a garden or something, but no, it's in big letters on a stone wall on the outside of this park, Ashburton domain. Well, I guess we're going to take a walk around and see what's here. What makes this place so uniquely boring that you just want to leave? And so I went on my journey through the Ashburton domain, and my goodness, I don't understand why this place isn't talked about more. It's incredible, it's vast, and it's varied. Every time I turned a corner, it felt like I was in a different place. I'd start in with what seemed quite normal, a gravel path with big trees on either side, and then I'd end up in large fields for playing sports, or I'd end up in a field for picnicking, for having picnics and eating lunch. Then you'd end up in those really nice gardens with all the pretty colours that's obviously been taken care of day after day. And suddenly you'd cross a little bridge and you would end up in what looked like it had been stolen from a hill. Just a path with trees on either side that were so bushy it looked like it had never been maintained, but still looked really good. Then you'd be over a stepping stone river, and then a massive playground. It just has so much more than the Christchurch Botanical Gardens. I was trying to keep count, but I lost count because numbers are hard, and I was here for like 2-3 hours because I got lost. It was just a really amazing place. This was the most fun I'd had walking around a park in as long as I can remember. So, in addition to a bigger park, more rivers, and more stuff in general, it also has exercise equipment, which, yeah, that's another +1 for the Ashburton domain. You really got to step up your game, Christchurch Botanical Garden. And here is I believe the last exercise on the tour. I actually hadn't seen all of them with how lost I've been. Now it's meant to be a push-up bar. You put your feet here, where mine are, and then your hands on the ground to do push-ups. But unfortunately the ground is wet and also covered in around. These hands, So I'm just going to do this instead. With my feet and shoes still quite wet from that puddle I walked in earlier. Since I've been giving out points, I will finally give 1 point to Christchurch's Botanic Garden. I do think its rose garden is slightly nicer than this one. Barely, might I add. And I'm not here when it's in the best condition, so I might have to check in again. However, bonus points here for this cool sundial sitting right in the middle, built in 1940. They've even got instructions on the back on how to use it, so that anyone watching here below the age of 100 might figure out how this works. Pretty much sundial. Sun shines on it, it shows pretty much what the time is, and it's even got an extra little calculator on the back to give you really accurate time based on the time of year, or if it's in daylight savings. Beautiful, ancient, and thoughtful. It's another point. Ashburton. Now the Christchurch Botanical Garden does have one of these as well. I can give Christchurch a solid point easily on this. This one is, well, it's indoors and in what kind of just looks like an old white mansion. And bonus points, I don't have to step through puddles of water to get through it. I could do off a bridge right now. However, I'm gonna let it slide because I can see some potential on the horizon. I don't know if this is a thing, is going to be a thing, or was a thing, but I hope it is going to be a thing. From what I see, it looks like it was a thing. I hope you can clear it out and make this good. And maybe you can get back into competition. What am I kidding? You're still winning, Ashburton. You're still winning. Again, this is the domain. I'm lost. I shouldn't be lost. I have finally made it to the car park, which I guess is where I get to the bowling green. And they've laid out a track for me. They underestimate this Daniel. Oh yeah, all that exercise really paid off, and right, I forgot my camera. Bloody hell. And finally, I found the bowling club. Why did I want to find the bowling club? So no particular reason, I just thought it was cool. Just another point for the Ashburton domain. There's people playing in it. It's used. I don't even think I'm allowed to enter, but maybe I can just watch for a bit. Somehow, this is Ashburton's domain. It's not a garden, not a sports club, sports centre, or an athletics track. It's a domain. Okay? Most domains I've ever seen, big lot of grass, trees around the outside, and a playground. At best. Here, huge amount of trees, on par, if not succeeding, the Christchurch Botanical Garden. I've seen more sports arenas, sports fields, than I can actually remember. I lost count. I think I'm up to 6, and that doesn't include the bowling green. There's a hockey field over there. I believe I've seen a tennis court. It also has the fitness track that I did a couple of things on, but I'm tired, so leave me alone. I'm not that fit yet. I'm trying. More picnic benches than I can count by far. Like actual picnic benches, and they don't look like they're covered in bird feces. The public toilets are clean. Public toilets that are clean. Let's take a moment to wrap our head around that one. And a waterfall. I get a tiny waterfall. I've really enjoyed my time here. I've been here for about an hour just wandering, and I haven't seen all of it, and I'm lost. I don't know where I parked my car. I'm going to have to just do sort of a loop around the outside until I find it. I think it's in that direction, but at this point, it could be actually anywhere. Oh, hang on, this looks familiar. Oh, yes. I finally found my car. I've been here for over an hour. I don't even think I've seen everything. Oh, I'm gonna get some food. After what must have been about 3 hours at the Domain, I had some lunch and then moved on to the Ashburton Museum, which is actually more of a art centre, museum, heritage site combination. It's not a big place. The art centre is getting bigger, but the museum part, yeah, it is very small. It's much smaller than, say, Christchurch or Wellington. But that's okay. It's nice. It's small, and it is pretty much just history around Ashburton. And the staff there were all amazing. They were all so nice to me. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why. I popped upstairs to check up on their art gallery, which has just been made at the time, and unfortunately, they only had one exhibition open, which I enjoyed. It was quaint and small, but I did have to leave quickly because I was feeling really uneasy, like I was being watched. But I know they did just recently hold the Women's Artist of the Year Awards right here, which is pretty cool. Back downstairs, and they had a Chinese settlement area in their museum, because apparently there was a Chinese settlement in Ashburton, which gave me the greatest idea of where to go next. I'm here now at the Kingbro's Chinese settlement, which 100 years ago would have been very lively, bustling full of people, living, dancing, enjoying their lives, growing produce, selling it, and cooking on this bad boy, a pig oven. Specialized pig oven for pigs. It's pretty self-explanatory. Pig goes in, cook, done. Bit of garlic. Unfortunately, in 1964, the whole place fell into disrepair and people left. And it was a sad moment for Ashburton. It just got lost to history. Until not long after, in the grand scheme of things, 2008, descendant Yin Nig came and started to speak to the council about making this a historical site. And by 2016, not only had this place been established as a historical site, but it started to be rebuilt. Work was slow, mainly from volunteers, but it got done. In fact, it officially finished and opened just 2 days ago, the 25th of February, 2024. So now you can date this. Figure that out. If I say 2 days ago, what day is it today? It's not a big place, and it's not necessarily pretty, but it was built to be an accurate recreation from the pine wood that no one knows where that was sourced from, to building structures, to my favorite thing, and it is small. there's a lot to learn here. And I think in this day and age it's very important to remember who came before you and how they cooked their pigs. So what can I say about Ashburton? Well, compared to what I was told, where the best things were the leaving Ashburton sign, I think it's better than that. I really enjoyed the Ashburton domain, which, as I have pointed out, is significantly better than Christchurch's Botanical Garden and pretty much any domain I've ever seen. I went there to go to a private garden and did not have time to go there. I got so distracted and lost in the domain, and then I had to follow that up with a pretty sweet museum with a work in progress art gallery on top of that. And then probably the most interesting thing was going and seeing that Chinese settlement. That is incredible. That is how things should be. It fell into complete disrepair, and I've got to imagine that the state it was in was horrible. But instead of getting rid of it, they managed to turn it into a heritage site and then fix it up so that everyone can come and see it. As much as it's great to innovate and grow, I think it's really important to remember the past and what brought all of us here. Plus the leaving Ashburton sign, not that great. Not that great, really. I've definitely seen better leaving signs. So, my end take is the classic, don't judge a book by what people on the internet tell you. I'm pretty sure that's a saying. Anyway, that's all for me today. I'm going to take this very boring drive home. I tell you, there are some great roads in New Zealand I have very much enjoyed driving on. This is not one of them. This is a very straight road, trees on one side, pastures on the other, and that's it for about an hour. And all cows! Well, anyway, that was exciting. I hope you'll join me next time as I continue wandering New Zealand. Yep. That's the saying now. I feel like I'm supposed to get a korok seed out of there. There's definitely got to be a korok in there. Hang on. I found no evidence of a korok here, but then I remember you only get to see them if you're special in some sort of way, and well, I just don't have a master sword right now. Oh, I should get a master sword. I should probably get out of the garden. Yeah. Don't want some lady to come screaming at me about standing on the plants. It's scarier than Ganon.